Good evening, hello, welcome back to the Chronicles of a Gooner. It's another one of our live watch-alongs, and tonight we're bringing you the huge game between Arsenal and Villarreal in the UEFA Europa League semi-final second leg. Wow, what an important game. What a night this could potentially be for Arsenal. Arsenal could seal their place in a second Europa League final in just 3 seasons. But equally, tonight could turn out to be a real disaster. It could be a terrible night for the team, for the club, and perhaps more significantly for Mikel Arteta. He is under pressure whatever way you look at it. But Mikel Arteta has the opportunity to salvage Arsenal's season, to save himself, to give this club the boost it so desperately needs. And fingers crossed that is going to be the case. Now, apologies, I was a minute or so late coming live because I was watching Mikel Arteta's pre-match interview. Where there's been a lot of debate around about the team. Actually, personnel-wise, in terms of the starting 11, it's the exact 11 players that I picked on the preview show earlier on today. However, we're still not 100% sure what Granit Xhaka is going to be doing and what Bukayo Saka is going to be doing. That is the big talking point in the lead up to this game. Will Saka play at left back? Will Xhaka play in a kind of half left back, half midfield role? Will Saka, as Freddie Ljungberg says on BT Sport, be in a really sort of advanced position when Arsenal are playing offensively? Or will he drop that little bit deeper and play as a left back? Who knows? We're going to have to wait and see. I think you'll see something in between. I think you'll see Saka bombing on the left, and I think you will see Xhaka tucking into that sort of half position between left back and left midfield that he does so often. Arsenal will expect to have the ball tonight. Arsenal will expect to have the lion's share of possession. And as such, I think you're going to see Bukayo Saka, whatever happens, playing really high up the pitch. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear us loud and clear in the chat. Want to make sure that everything's coming through to you guys as good as it can possibly be ahead of the kickoff. Lots of you in the chat saying that we'll blame manager Harry if it goes wrong. As I say, is the exact 11 I picked, but it'll be interesting to see exactly how they line up in terms of shape. Let's run you through the two sides, and let's start with Villarreal. Let's get it out the way. It's Geronimo Rulli in goal. Gaspar comes in at right back to replace Juan Foyth, who of course suffered an injury in the first leg. Raul Albiol, Pau Torres and Alfonso Pedraza make up the rest of Villarreal's back four. We think it's going to be a 4-man midfield of Chukwueze, Parejo and Francis Coquelin, who comes back into the side, of course, former Arsenal man. Trigueros will play from the left, we think, and it will be a front two of Moreno and Paco Alcácer. For Arsenal, it's going to be Bernd Leno in goal. Back four, we think of Bellerin, Holding, Marie and Saka maybe. In midfield, it's going to be Xhaka, Partey, Odegaard with Pepe on one flank, Smith Rowe on the other, and Aubameyang through the middle, we think. But as I say, we're going to have to wait till the actual kickoff to try and make a little bit more sense of exactly how this Arsenal side are going to line up. Let's see. What have we got here in the comments section? John Daly says, I don't feel great, Harry. Come on, you Gooners. Come on. Let's be positive in the lead up to this one, mate. We've got the players to do it. We're certainly capable. I wasn't overly impressed by Villarreal in the first leg. However, we know that Arsenal have proven that they can be their own worst enemies. You know, we've seen it so many times. You know, let's just hope that tonight we do it right. Let's hope that tonight we make it count, we seize the moment, and we book ourselves a place in another major European final. Chase says, Harry's wearing a coat. It's serious business tonight. Do you know what it is? It's a coat that doesn't go with what I'm wearing whatsoever. But I came down to the man cave in a t-shirt, giving it large, but I was freezing. So I went back in and just grabbed whatever was by the door. I've even made myself a hot drink rather than the beers tonight, because I feel like this is going to be a long, cold night. Hopefully it's not a long, cold, miserable night. We'll have to wait and see. Don't forget to smash the like button, guys, if you haven't done so already. It really does help so much. So if you haven't done that already, please do so. I can see there are plenty of you tuned in already. Subscribe to the channel if you're new as well while you're at it. And let's have some of those predictions in the chat box. As I said, it's the 11 that I wanted to see, so I'm not going to have any complaints about the personnel for sure. Let's see, how it's going to go. But I think what Mikel Arteta has done really well in this team selection is I think he's picked a nice blend for the forward line between power, pace, goal-scoring prowess, but also technical ability. I think at times he's gone too far one way or the other. But in this case, having Aubameyang's goal-scoring prowess and his pace and ability to run in behind, alongside Pepe's ability to beat a man, to score goals, to get into the right positions, and having that guile and creativity that Martin Odegaard and Emile Smith-Rowe bring to the table, I think makes this a really well-blended Arsenal attack. Alexander Lacazette is, of course, on the substitutes bench. He may play a part, as may Gabriel Martinelli. I know a lot of people were calling for him to start. I didn't think he would start. And I understand why some people wanted him in the team. It's not a bad shout by any stretch of the imagination. I just think that, just going back to what I was just talking about there, about the blend between that creative guile and sort of technical ability that we're going to need, I believe, to probably break down a stubborn Villarreal side. I think we're going to have to be patient tonight. I think it's going to take time to breach them. I think it's going to take time for Arsenal to strike blood, to make things difficult. And I think it's going to take Arsenal plenty of time to find their... I don't want to say that because I sound like I'm being negative. I guess the point I'm trying to make is I think with Arsenal, what we're going to see is we're going to see Arsenal, have to bide their time a little bit here. I don't want to see Arsenal go out 100 miles an hour in the first 5 minutes and get caught on the counter-attack and concede an away goal and essentially give up what it is that we managed to scrape from the first leg, because it's not an advantage being 2-1 down. Of course it's not. But to have that away goal obviously is better than to not have it. And it's the one thing that we have in our favour, the way this tie stands at the moment. So I don't want us to give that up. I don't want us to lose that. I think we'll need to be patient. Obviously, I'd love an early goal. It would settle the nerves and, etc., etc. But for me, it's about starting this game professionally, because Villarreal proved in the first leg, they're not an amazing side. They're not going to come out and completely blow you away. But what they are going to do is they are going to be able to take advantage in the event that Arsenal make mistakes. And it's as simple as that. And that's why we've got to cut them out of our game. Because if we cut out the errors, if we cut out the mistakes, I genuinely believe that Arsenal are more than capable, more than good enough of defeating this Villarreal side. Let's say a big hello to everybody in the live chat box. I hope you are all well. And a big special hello to Daniel Lillington, who says, "Hey Harry, been listening on Spotify for a few weeks now. Nice to hear someone who has time for Arteta, albeit difficult. How do you think Unai is going to try and counter the team selection tonight?" Well, first of all, Daniel, thank you for coming over to the YouTube channel, mate. Really, really appreciate it. The watch-alongs are exclusively on the YouTube channel, so it's great to have you here as well. Thank you for your very, very kind super chat donation. And in answer to your question, how do I think Unai is going to try and counter it? I think one of the problems we had in the first leg was that we didn't, in my opinion, put Villarreal's defence under enough pressure. And that was because of two reasons. First of all, we were just off. We didn't create. We didn't cause them any problems. But secondly, playing without a striker meant that final line of press wasn't really there. And it allowed the likes of Raul Albiol and Pau Torres, and Juan Foyth at the time to get on the ball, to have time and to build up from deep. That is what Unai Emery's sides like to do. That is what I expect Unai Emery's sides to try and do again today. But I think Unai Emery's team is quite flexible, and it's one of the things I noticed from the first leg. We look at the lineup and we see on paper what looks like a 4-4-2, but for large periods of that game in the first leg, that wasn't the case. You saw Trigueros tuck into midfield a little bit more. You saw Pedraza coming down the left-hand side and bombing on. And then Moreno and Alcázar gathering as centre forwards together. And what that did was it shifted Villarreal's formation into essentially, like a 3-5-2. So I think that looking at Villarreal's team on paper, it's very easy to fall into the trap of thinking it's going to be a 4-4-2. But it's a very flexible one, and it is one that is geared and designed to create overloads in the wide areas. And in particular, Unai Emery, as we learnt from his time at Arsenal, likes to use his fullbacks to good effect. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some of that as well. Just having a look at some pictures now, we're just looking at Granit Xhaka. Seemed to have picked up a knock in the warm-up. That's not bloody good news, is it? Looks to be in some discomfort. We'll wait to find out if there's any update on that. We're just having a look. The teams are in the tunnel now, so kickoff is just around the corner. It's such a big night. It really, really is. And a big thank you to all of you. Oh, changing the team. Xhaka injured in the warm-up. Xhaka is out, and Kieran Tierney is starting. Wow. Big news that. Kieran Tierney is in the starting 11, according to you guys in the chat. I haven't got the commentary on because I'm doing it for you guys, so I can't hear exactly what is going on, but we're hearing, or I'm being told reliably by you guys, that Granit Xhaka is out. We just saw the pictures, as I said, of him picking up a knock in the warm-up, and it seems as though he has dropped out of the team, and now Kieran Tierney will come in. Well, that suggests, doesn't it, that maybe Xhaka was going to play at left back. Let me bring you through the crowd sounds. Let me know if you can hear those coming through at your end. Should be just very faintly in the background. And give us a thumbs up in the live chat if you can hear that all coming through. So as I say, a little bit of a last minute change. Granit Xhaka out of the side, having picked up an injury in the warm-up. Kieran Tierney comes in, which means Kieran Tierney is going to play at left back. It means that you'd imagine one of Emile Smith-Rowe or Martin Odegaard is going to play in a deeper midfield position now alongside Thomas Partey. Wow, big news right at the start of this one. Not the ideal preparation. It's never ideal when you have to change the team or change your approach so close to kickoff. As I say, give me a thumbs up in the chat if you can hear the crowd sounds coming through. You should be able to hear them just ever so faintly now. Give us a thumbs up and let me know. Two teams out on the field, and kickoff is just around the corner here at the Emirates Stadium. It's Arsenal versus Villarreal in this huge UEFA Europa League semi-final second leg. The Gunners trail Villarreal by 2-1. We've got plenty of firepower out there tonight, and these players, they owe it to Mikel Arteta to dig him out of a bit of a hole here. Let's quickly run through the Arsenal side once more. Leno, Bellerin, Tierney, Marie, Holding, Partey, Odegaard, Smith-Rowe, Pepe, and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Got a little bit confused because the screen changed there, so let's run through it once more. Leno in goal, Tierney, Marie, Holding, Saka, Partey, Smith-Rowe, Bellerin, Pepe, Aubameyang, and of course Martin Odegaard. Here we go. Big game. The two captains involved in the toss in the middle of the pitch. Slavko Vincic is the official tonight, the Slovenian. Mario Gaspar wears the captain's armband for Villarreal, and of course Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang wears it for the Gunners. Let's run you through Villarreal's team once more. And it is Rulli in goal, Gaspar, Albiol, Torres, Pedraza, Chukwueze, Parejo, Coquelin, Trigueros, Moreno, and Paco Alcácer. So that is the Villarreal lineup. Kickoff is about a minute or so away. The players are ready. They're out on the field. And it's a big game. Complex Theory says BT has them as a back three. I really can't see Kieran Tierney playing as part of a back three. I apologise that the lineups on the screen are now obviously incorrect as a result of that late change, but I can't change it midstream, so you're going to have to bear with me. I know someone will pick up on it during the course of the stream, but it's going to be Villarreal in all yellow to kick us off. It's a big, big night for the Gunners. Can they make it an all-English Europa League final? We've got an all-English Champions League final. Can Arsenal make it a full house for the Premier League? We'll find out in around about an hour and a half's time. Unai Emery still making his way through the tunnel. Stadium he'll of course know very, very well. Shares a fist bump with Mikel Arteta. The Arsenal players taking to the knee in support of the Black Lives Matter campaign. The Villarreal players choosing not to do so. They didn't do it in the first leg, but I'd imagine that's probably their way of making their own points. I wouldn't read into it as a negative. I don't know what the ins and outs of it are, but I'd imagine it's with the best of intentions. Arsenal have a free kick inside their own half. Here's Kieran Tierney at left back, thrown in at the last minute due to an injury to Granit Xhaka. Pablo Mari plays a long ball forward, left-footed towards Nicolas Pepe, who's interestingly taken up position on the left-hand side. It looks like Saka is operating from the right, and Smith Rowe or Odegaard are going to drop in alongside Thomas Partey. Unai Emery knows this Arsenal side very, very well and has proven a stubborn opponent in this tie so far. Here's Aubameyang on the left, takes it under control, rolls it to Emile Smith Rowe, just checks back and lays it off to Kieran Tierney, back from injury of course. Lovely bit of skill from Aubameyang. Tierney puts it into the box, headed clear by Raul Albiol, only as far as Pepe inside the box. Cross block, Pepe still has it, and Nicolas Pepe has won Arsenal a corner inside the first couple of minutes. Lively start from the Gunners down that left hand side in particular. Big hello to everybody joining us in the live chat. Stephen Foot says, I'm watching BT but listening to you, Harry. Thank you very much, mate. Really, really appreciate it. Make sure you guys hit the like button if you haven't done so already. It really, really does help. Arsenal with a corner. First corner of the game. It's going to be delivered left-footed by Martin Ødegaard. Headed away by Villarreal. Here is Kieran Tierney. He'll retrieve it on the halfway line. Now it's with Emile Smith Rowe. Back to Tierney once more. Just inside the Arsenal half, Kieran Tierney sprays it out to the left-hand side. Taken under control by Pepe. Infield to Partey. Looks for that cross-field ball out towards the right-hand side. I think he expected Hector Bellerin to make a run there. A run that never came from the Spaniard, to be fair. But we talked about it in the build-up. We talked about what a huge match this is for Mikel Arteta. His position as Arsenal boss has come under much scrutiny from large sections of the fan base in recent times, but Europa League glory would go a long way, you feel, in easing that pressure on Mikel Arteta, just like the FA Cup win did last season. Been thinking about it today, been writing articles in the lead up to this game, and one of the things I wrote about today was the fact that I do feel that as much as I like Mikel Arteta, if we were to crash out tonight, if that was to prove the end of his Arsenal tenure, I don't think we could have many complaints when you take into consideration the whole picture, the fact that Arsenal are 9th in the Premier League. The Europa League can save him, but it could also be the straw that broke the camel's back. And I also talked about the fact that KSE may feel that they need to act in order to show that they are focusing on what happens on the football pitch. But who knows? We're only 3.5 minutes in here. Big hello to Kevin Sean, who's listening to us on his way home. Here come Villarreal with Parejo. Plays the ball out to the left-hand side. Paco Alcácer will pick it up. Rolls it back to Alfonso Pedraza, who was a nuisance to Arsenal in the first leg. Was constantly bombing down that left-hand side. Here is Pau Torres, the central defender. Into Parejo. Pau Torres gets it back. He's got Raul Albiol square of him. Looks instead to play it forward. Helped on by Alcácer. Here's Trigueros. Now Pedraza on the left for Villarreal. He's in line with the edge of Arsenal's penalty area. Cuts it back to Dani Parejo. Ball chipped out to the right-hand side by Francis Coquelin. Here's Chukwueze on the corner of Arsenal's box. Shoots left-footed. Samuel Chukwueze tipped over the bar by Bernd Leno. It's the first stop the Germans had to make. It's the first attempt at goal from Villarreal. It's a save you expect Leno to make. Decent effort that from Samuel Chukwueze. Just opened up his body and was looking for the far corner. Leno went with the left hand. Gets plenty on it. It's gone out for Villarreal's first corner of the game. Nervy moments here for Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium. Chukwueze himself is going to take the corner. Rolls it short to Parejo. Delivers right-footed. Cut out by Emile Smith-Rowe. Odegaard will chase the loose ball, but Villarreal still in possession here. Nice reverse pass that from Parejo into Alcácer. Here's Coquelin looking to thread a ball in behind Hector Bellerin, but Saka cut it out. Saka slipped in his attempt to pick out Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, and Pedraza comes down the left for Villarreal. Luckily for Arsenal, he's overhit that, and it ends up with Bellerin, who just calmly plays it back to Bernd Leno. He's got the ball at his feet inside his 6-yard box. Just rolls it square to Rob Holding. He plays it square once more, this time to Bellerin. His ball down the line is a poor one. Arsenal give it away, but fortunately they've got it straight back. Bellerin with a ball down the right flank. Aubameyang will chase it, but Pau Torres will come across. He's by far the favourite to get on the end of that. Here is Raul Albiol at the heart of the Villarreal defence. Not under a great deal of pressure. I talked about this after the first leg. I feel like we know that Villarreal want to play this way. We know that they want to play the ball out from the back. It was one of the things that used to drive us mad about Unai Emery when he was at Arsenal. The amount of risks that side took was unbelievable. So why aren't we cashing in on that? Why aren't we trying to make life difficult for Villarreal? They've really started pretty well after an initial sort of push from Arsenal inside the first minute. But here's Pepe. He's avoided a couple of Villarreal challenges there, and Bellerin plays it to Saka on the right flank. He's got Emile Smith-Rowe in close proximity. Instead, he plays it inside to Bellerin. Back to Rob Holding now. Every Arsenal player, barring Bernd Leno, of course, is inside the Villarreal half. Here's Kieran Tierney at left back. Thrown into the game, of course, at the last minute after that injury suffered by Granit Xhaka in the warm-up. Here's Odegaard on the right. Always looking to cut inside onto that stronger left foot of his. Just finds Pablo Mari on the halfway line, and now it's with Kieran Tierney at left back. Chips a ball in behind down the left for Emile Smith-Rowe. Lovely neat touch from Smith-Rowe. Pepe rolls it infield. It was in between Partey and Tierney has been caught up the field here. Chukwueze turns on the burners and he'll bring it forward for Villarreal, but that's really good running back from Pepe. Misses his slide challenge though, Pepe, and Pablo Mari gets a vital foot in at a really important time to deny Chukwueze getting into the penalty area. He's still got it though, the Villarreal man. I'll tell you what, misjudged Villarreal tonight. I thought they'd be a little bit more conservative in the early stages, but they're really trying to squeeze Arsenal. They're trying to dominate. They're trying to get that away goal and cancel out effectively the one that Arsenal scored at La Ceramica last week. Formerly known, of course, as El Madrigal, if you're wondering why the hell the stadium name sounds different. 8 minutes on the clock here. Arsenal 0, Villarreal 0. Get your thoughts in the live chat box. I'll be keeping an eye on it, of course, throughout the broadcast. Feel free to interact with one another as well. Leno takes a short kick to Partey. Arsenal trying to do a Villarreal here and invite them on. Tierney with a long ball down the left flank towards Pepe. Won by Gaspar, the man wearing the captain's armband for Villarreal this evening. Replacing the Spurs loanee Juan Foyth, who picked up a problem in the first leg. Here's Pablo Mari at centre-back. Grew up locally to Villarreal, did Pablo Mari. This tie will have special meaning to him. Here's Bellerin at right-back. Back to Holding in a really deep position. Plays it across the penalty area to Mari. Helps it on to Tierney now at left-back. And it's back with Pablo Mari wearing the number 22 shirt for Arsenal, former Flamengo defender. Here's Tierney once more. Arsenal with possession in a defensive position, but that's not where we need it, is it? Here's Saka down the right wing, one-on-one with Pedraza, looks to step inside him, then looked to step inside Trigueros, but was dispossessed by the Villarreal man. Of course, Manu Trigueros is the man who scored Villarreal's first goal last week. Arsenal forced Villarreal into winning a throw-in, but it's down by their own corner flag. Chance for Arsenal to squeeze up the pitch. Granit Xhaka watches on from the sidelines. He looks visibly frustrated at the fact that he's going to miss out. He's had to miss out. Not ideal to see Kieran Tierney playing from the start, given what you'd imagine would be a severe lack of match practice and match fitness, but it is what it is. Once again, Lady Luck not on Arsenal's side. Here's Chukwueze on the right. Back to Gaspar. Now Coquelin finds Raul Albiol. Here's Geronimo Rulli in the Villarreal goal now. Pau Torres into the midfield. Ball played out to the left. Pedraza steps inside Bellerin and drives at the Arsenal backline. It's got Chukwueze to his right. Finds the Villarreal man. He's inside the box. Tries that shot again from the corner of the penalty area with his stronger left foot. This time it's blocked. Villarreal still in possession though with Chukwueze once more. It's got Kieran Tierney for company. Goes back to Raul Albiol. He and Parejo exchange passes before the ball finds Pau Torres. Now it's with Danny Parejo once more. Into Coquelin. Lays it off to Raul Albiol. So comfortable in stepping out from that back line. Here is Chukwueze. Kieran Tierney does well to win the ball back for Arsenal. Now it's with Partey. Wes Bird says, "Are you on the beer, Harry?" No, I'm not tonight. I've been feeling under the weather the last few days, so I thought I'd give it a miss. But I think by half time at this rate, I'm probably going to need to switch tactics because I've got a cup of tea in my hand at the moment. But I think I might have to change over to the harder stuff. Big hello to Tony Celebiz who's joined us. He says, what happened to Xhaka? Picked up an injury in the warm-up and was replaced at the very last minute by a half-fit, you'd imagine, Kieran Tierney. Here's Bellerin into Aubameyang. First time pass looking for Odegaard, but he's given it away again. It's been a sloppy start from Arsenal. Here is Coquelin. Now it's with Raul Albiol. Now it's with Torres. Goes back to his goalkeeper, Geronimo Rulli. He plays it right to Raul Albiol. Villarreal looking so comfortable in possession in these early stages is not a good sign. I did talk about the need for patience. I do think Arsenal will have their moments. Of course, when those moments come along, we'll have to take them. There's no margins for error tonight because we've not allowed for any margins after a really bad performance in the first leg. Here's Pablo Mari at centre-back. Now Tierney rolls it infield to Partey. He's got Parejo for company. Just lays it off to Pepe. Partey gets it back. And Partey, of course, will have met Danny Parejo on many occasions during his time in La Liga. That was a really risky pass back to Bernd Leno. Almost went over the top of his head. The goalkeeper on the stretch there to prevent any accident happening. Arsenal trying to win the ball back in midfield. Big hello to Jack the Ripper in the chat as well. Hope you're well, my friend. Villarreal have given it away this time and Odegaard picks it up deep inside their half. He plays it square to Emile Smith-Rowe. Now it's with Pepe on the left-hand side. What can he do here? Threads it in between a couple of Villarreal players into Smith-Rowe. It's back with Pepe. He's got Partey in field. Just rolls it to Partey, takes a touch and then looks to dink one in behind to find Emile Smith-Rowe well read by Raul Albiol, and Villarreal are in possession now and looking to spring a counter-attack. Here's Moreno, plays it infield. Coquelin will carry it forward now. Villarreal beating Arsenal's midfield, and they've done that far too many times. It feels like with one or two passes, Villarreal are just capable of breaching Arsenal's entire midfield, which is a little bit non-existent at the moment. You know, you look at it and you're trying to work out who is supposed to be playing alongside Thomas Partey, because Smith Rowe is often on the left. Odegaard is nowhere near him. Partey needs support. It was our undoing in the first leg, I felt he really struggled with that. And we seem to be doing the same thing again. But Arsenal have won themselves a corner after Bukayo Saka managed to get onto a long ball played over the top. He looked around, Bukayo Saka. He wasn't sure from which direction the ball was going to fall. But having got there, he was able to force Arsenal's second corner of the evening. Quarter of an hour in, Arsenal 0, Villarreal 0. But Arsenal have a chance to test Geronimo Rulli in the Villarreal goal. It's going to be a Martin Odegaard delivery. Left-footed, Holding and Maria both forward. We need an early goal to settle those nerves. We really, really do. Plenty of tussling for position going on inside the penalty area. In comes the delivery. Rulli gets a fist to it. Not the most convincing clearance, but Villarreal will pick it up, and Villarreal can break away. It's Symeou Chukwueze. Arsenal do well to crowd him out though and prevent Chukwueze breaking away, because we know he's got the pace to do it. We know he's got the pace to cause Arsenal problems, but as I say, got back quickly, surrounded him in a flash, and all of a sudden the attack had broken down. But Villarreal are back in possession with Pau Torres. It's not been a great opening 16 minutes from an Arsenal perspective. As I keep saying though, patience. It's all about patience in a game like this. Can't afford to make silly mistakes. The moments will come, the opportunities will come. There's too much attacking talent on the pitch for Arsenal not to have a couple of opportunities this evening. Villarreal are the ones coming forward though. Long ball over the top towards Moreno. Just cut out by Rob Holding. There's a little 1-2 with Bellerin, and then rolls it back to Bernd Leno in the Arsenal goal. Now it's with Pablo Maria, left centre-back. Here's Odegaard. Out to the left-hand side for Kieran Tierney. Big hello to everybody watching us live at the moment. And in particular to those of you who have come over from the audio podcast tonight, because I know there are a fair few of you in the chat box watching us right now who normally only listen to the podcast via the audio platforms. So it's great to have you here for one of the live watch-alongs. Arsenal were just threatening to get in behind down the right-hand side that time. You can see Pepe has pulled out to the right flank now. Saka's gone over to the left. Arsenal just trying to change it up a little bit. It's not been too effective, in truth, in the early exchanges. But Villarreal are on the ball once more. They've been dispossessed though. Here's Saka. Finds Emile Smith-Rowe. He's got Kieran Tierney square of him. Tierney back to Leno, and Leno back to Tierney. Heavy touch, and he just about managed to poke it away from the on-rushing Chukwueze. It's been played down the left-hand side now, taken under control by Bukayo Saka. Here is Partey. Now Holding out to Pepe on this right-hand side. Villarreal have plenty of bodies back behind the ball here. But the onus is on Arsenal to pick the lock. Here's Smith-Rowe on the left now. Infield to Tierney. Just shifts it out of his feet, delivers into the penalty area, headed away by Raul Albiol, only as far as Thomas Partey. Back out to the left for Emile Smith-Rowe, who will look to run at Chukwueze. Goes beyond him, stands one up, left-footed, met by the head of Raul Albiol. Aubameyang trying to get underneath it. Rulli with a weak punch, but it was eventually hooked away by Danny Parejo, the captain. And Arsenal have the ball back on the halfway line with Pablo Marie. Now it's with Tierney. Just doesn't look really particularly sharp, Kieran Tierney. Looks like he's blowing already. And the problem is that Kieran Tierney's probably going to have to play 90 minutes now. Obviously, he wasn't in the plans to start the game. That change was enforced upon Mikel Arteta just a few minutes prior to kickoff, when Granit Xhaka picked up an injury in the warm-up. Because they were stood on by Thomas Partey. And as Steve Stone says in the chat, Partey is alone in the middle. It's a really difficult task for Thomas Partey. Particularly when, as I spoke about before the game, Villarreal dropped that extra body in there. And they do it so frequently. Here's Saka on the left. Chips it in towards the penalty area, looking for Pepe at the far post. But pass was overhit. Pass was a poor one. Not really sure what Saka's intention was there. He sort of starts to come in field and then with his weaker right foot just tries to stick one up at the far post. Nicola Pepe and him not quite on the same page on that occasion. And as a result, it's going to be a Villarreal goal kick. 20 minutes gone. Arsenal 0. Villarreal 0. Don't forget to hit the like button if you haven't done so already. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. And of course, we'll be back later on tonight with a post-match podcast where I'll be joined by Mike Stavrou of Metro Sport. We'll be discussing whatever goes on tonight. We're aiming for around about 10:15, 10:20 if this one is decided in normal time. If it goes that extra mile, if it does go to extra time and then penalties, then of course we'll keep you updated on what time we will be going live. But there will be a post-match podcast this evening for you to get your teeth into as well. Here is Bellerin. Looks to turn away from Trigueros. Now it's with Odegaard. Partey back to Holding. Down the right into Bellerin. Well worked by Villarreal, and they get across into the box. It's taking a deflection, but it ends up in the arms of Bernd Leno. He releases it quickly, and Arsenal might lose it here. Emile Smith-Rowe in trouble. Chukwueze does well to win it back from him. Picks out Alcácer in the middle. Now to Parejo. Villarreal still alive here. They've won a free kick right on the edge of the Arsenal penalty area. Alcácer played it back to Danny Parejo, who got there ahead of Thomas Partey, who just left the foot in, the Ghanaian. Clever play from Parejo because he lets the ball run across onto his right foot, just creating that little delay and subsequently drawing Thomas Partey into making a foul. Really dangerous free kick here. Can't be more than 6 yards from the edge of the penalty area. Bernd Leno is lining up his wall. Parejo is the man standing over it, wearing the number 5 shirt. Player who seems to follow Unai Emery around at most clubs. Danny Parejo, particularly the Spanish ones that he's managed anyway. Bellerin lying down on the ground behind the wall. Parejo is going to strike this right-footed. Dangerous moments here for the Gunners. It's going to be Danny Parejo to strike it. It's landed on the roof of the net. It's a really good effort from Danny Parejo. You wouldn't want to give him another one of those, having had his sighter. Leno's not happy about something. But warning sign from Villarreal. Having won the free kick on the edge of the penalty area. Just threatening Arsenal with a free kick. Bernd Leno is going to take this goal kick for Arsenal. They're going to go long. Everybody's pushed up the field. Leno out towards the left-hand side. Aubameyang's underneath it, but it's won by the Villarreal man. It was Francis Coquelin. Ball chipped forward by Villarreal, headed away by Holding. Nice turn from Partey under pressure. Here's Odegaard inside the centre circle. Now Bellerin drives forward. He's got Bukayo Saka on the outside of him. Here is Saka cutting in onto that left foot. Whips it in towards the penalty area. Smith-Rowe tries to help it on. Arsenal appealing for a handball. Play continues. Tierney will shoot from distance. It's well wide though of Geronimo Rulli's goal. Just took a touch and a bit of a snapshot there Kieran Tierney. But just prior to that, Arsenal were appealing for a handball. Emile Smith-Rowe just tried to flick it on. It was Pau Torres who was involved in the incident. Difficult to tell from the replay that we've seen as to whether it did strike the arm, but even if it did, it was from such close range. It wasn't stonewall by any stretch of the imagination. Not one that I'll be going crazy about. Worth an appeal if you're there and in person, but nothing more than that. Flag's gone up against Villarreal. AK Gunner 49 says, why do we start big games so poor? Other players not motivated. I couldn't agree more, mate. I don't understand the sort of flat response. Here is Smith-Rowe though, finds Tierney on the outside of him. His cross is blocked. Arsenal win a corner. That's better. Bit of energy from the Gunners. Down the left hand side, Francis Coquelin, the man who's given away the corner. Whew. Not the way I dreamed of the start being, but is what it is. 25 minutes on the clock at the Emirates Stadium. Arsenal 0, Villarreal 0. In comes the delivery. Met by Raul Albiol. Might fall for Partey. Helps it on to Pepe. Back to Odegaard. Chips it into the box. Headed by Parejo. Falls to Aubameyang. Puts it back across the goal towards Murray. It'll fall to Aubameyang again, who strikes it with the outside of his foot. And it's come crashing off of the foot of the post. Really good effort that from Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. But it remains goalless here at the Emirates Stadium. He initially tried to put the ball back across the goal. The ball was hooked away by Danny Parejo, and it fell to Aubameyang, where instincts just kicked in. And with the outside of his boot, he makes a really clean contact with it back across Geronimo Rulli's goal. But it comes crashing, as I said, off of the foot of the post. That's a let-off for Villarreal, but encouraging from Arsenal. Here's Pedraza for Villarreal with a ball forward. Thomas Partey's back and he's got plenty of time to get this under control and lay it off to Pablo Mari. Wesbird says, are you nervous, Harry? I am. I really am. I was quite confident in the build-up to the game, but now that it's started, I'm absolutely bricking it. Villarreal have a player down, injured. It's Samuel Chukwueze who's down. That would be a blow for Villarreal because he is somebody who's caused us problems in this tie so far. Has plenty of pace. And when you consider that Kieran Tierney is only half fit, you feel like that would be an area in which Villarreal would be desperate to expose us. But Chukwueze has signalled to the bench that he wants to be substituted immediately. He's made that signal before hitting the deck, so it looks bad for Samuel Chukwueze. And it looks like Villarreal are going to make a change. Mikel Arteta just passing on some instructions to his players while Samuel Chukwueze receives treatment. He's got his hands over his face. He looks to be in some discomfort. I think it's one of those ones where you just know as a player that you're going to be out for a long time. From a purely Arsenal and selfish perspective, Chukwueze going off isn't a bad thing, but of course you never want to see footballers suffering injuries that rule them out. But the stretchers have come on, so it looks pretty serious, this for the Villarreal man. He was just starting to find his feet, Samuel Chukwueze, not in terms of this tie, but in terms of at Villarreal. He's always been someone who's been regarded as having a lot of potential, but hasn't necessarily always fulfilled that. The end product hasn't always been there, but he's improved greatly of late. But inside half an hour, he's going to be replaced. Samuel Chukwueze will make way, having picked up an injury. Big hello to Devanga in the chat as well, and to everybody else. Just seeing pictures of the Villarreal man coming off. Pino is going to replace him, wearing the number 30 shirt. Samuel Chukwueze still got his hands over his face. He recognises the severity of this injury. Play is going to continue. And here is Rob Holding at the back for the Gunners. Here is Pablo Marí. And the pressure from Moreno. Here's Pablo Marí. Again under pressure from Moreno inside his penalty area. Manages to turn away from him though. Arsenal give the ball away again. We win it back and we give it away almost instantly every time. Been a really frustrating opening half an hour or so here at the Emirates. Here is Raul Albiol at the back for the visitors, who of course still lead this tie by 2-1 on aggregate. Tempo's been really slow, a lot slower than we'd have liked it to be. But really plays a long ball forward for Villarreal. Paco Alcácer just trying to run off the shoulder of Rob Holding, who was equal to it. Did really well there, Holding, to be fair. Here is Pepe. Nice turn to get away from his man. Lays it off for Smith Rowe. Lovely exchange between the pair of them. Pepe's coming down the left. He's got Gaspar for company. Runs into Pino, the substitute. Pepe still got it though. Back to Tierney. Back to Pepe once more. Tierney making a run on the outside, looking to overlap him. He tries to roll it infield to Emile Smith Rowe. Couldn't quite pick out his teammate though. Here is the substitute for Villarreal. Goes back to Geronimo Rulli in the goal. Plays it long. Pablo Marí has to step in and prevent Paco Alcácer progressing for Villarreal. Here's Odegaard. Picked up by Bellerin. Drives forward. Looks to go beyond his man. Tries to get the cross in. He was always stretching. And it ends up in the arms of Rulli in the Villarreal goal. Lots of you discussing substitutions already and potential changes that Mikel Arteta should be looking to make in the live chat box. I said I wouldn't have started Saka unless it was at left back, and I think he's been really ineffective so far. It kind of justifies my way of thinking prior to the game. Look, I hope he goes on to win it for us, but he hasn't looked anywhere near sharp enough. I think Pepe has looked like the only real live wire. Aubameyang showed just a few moments ago that he is a player who carries a goal threat. Smith Rowe's been busy, he's been lively, but it's been difficult for him because Villarreal seem to be crowding out all the right spaces. Odegaard's been a little bit quiet. I want to see more from those two though. The technical players. I talked about the need for guile and creativity in the lead up, and we need to see more of that. But Villarreal are coming forward here and they're looking dangerous. Here's Torres to the left of Arsenal's penalty area. It's in the box now. Trigueros puts it across. Holding gets a touch on it. Odegaard has it inside our own penalty area now, but he's under major pressure here to get it clear. Clearance was a poor one, but he's lucky that it deflected off of the Villarreal defender and has gone out for an Arsenal goal kick. Villarreal again just showing signs of their counter-attacking capabilities. Arsenal take the goal kick short. Trying to invite Villarreal out and then play around them. Just feels risky, and we've seen Arsenal lose the ball here again. This time Bellerin was at fault. Ball out to the right hand side for Gaspar coming forward. Manages to beat Nicolas Pepe. Gaspar's inside the penalty area for Villarreal. Smashes it across the goal, but Bernd Leno was covering his near post and manages to gather. He releases it quickly and Arsenal look to break away with Emile Smith Rowe. He plays it left to Nicolas Pepe. Forced to just check his run, because Villarreal have done brilliantly again to get bodies behind the ball. Here is Smith Rowe on the left. Rolls it infield to Kieran Tierney. Looks for the long diagonal ball out towards the right hand side. Taken under control by Bukayo Saka. Can he beat his man? Instead finds Odegaard. Lays it off to Bellerin. Looks to go beyond Trigueros and checks back. Looks for Saka, but he's given it away to Paco Alcácer. And somebody said in the live chat, I think it was Sam, Somebody tell Bellerin we're playing in red and not yellow. Yeah, it certainly feels that way. Based on the fact he's given the ball away on countless occasions inside this opening 35 minutes or so. Ball's back with Bernd Leno in the Arsenal goal. I said I didn't want him to play from the start. I said that because I wanted to see Granit Xhaka in midfield. It looks like, judging by the fact that Tierney was the man who replaced Granit Xhaka, that the intention of Mikel Arteta was never to play Granit Xhaka in midfield. But it's so clear that we're losing out in that area of the pitch. Thomas Partey needs help. He needs some support. So I wouldn't be against Mohamed El Neni being introduced into this game. He's not my favourite player in the world, but we're being dominated in the midfield. We're not able to dictate the play. It's the most important area of the pitch, and we're just missing something in there. You know, we're missing that extra presence. You can see now Odegaard and Smith Rowe are both pushed right up the pitch. But where we've been sort of, I don't want to say successful this season, but where we have been semi-successful, you know, has been when we play with a double pivot, and we've just completely abandoned that. Jay Dubia says, Harry, if we win the Europa League and qualify for the Champions League, can you honestly stomach more 10-2s from Bayern? I think the first season I'll just be excited to be back in it. But obviously, look, from a competition perspective, we're not going to go into the Champions League and compete, right? But the finances it brings and all the other bits that come with it are just so important for a club that are trying to rebuild the squad. You know, it's difficult enough to do it during COVID times. It's difficult enough to do it with Europa League football, but to do it without anything would be a disaster. To do it with Champions League, however, will be a massive boost from a financial standpoint. That is for sure. I think the coat's going to come off. I think we need to get more serious here. Here's Trigueros in midfield for Villarreal. Looking for Pedraza on the left. Couldn't pick him out. Bellerin takes the throw in quickly. Mikel Arteta actually was sprinting there to retrieve the ball. Nice turn from Odegaard to get away from Coquelin. Wins a foul. Wins a free kick. From Coquelin does Martin Odegaard. You can see he was really clever in the way he let the ball run across his body and then got on the right side of Coquelin, who was always going to close that gap. Coquelin's one of those players. He can't help it. He can't help but make the challenge, make the foul. Of course, Villarreal without Etienne Capoue tonight. He probably would have started ahead of Francis Coquelin had he been fit and available. But of course, just like Dani Ceballos, he was sent off in the first leg last week. Odegaard is going to take this free kick for Arsenal. It's just inside the Villarreal half. Chips it in towards the far post. Pablo Mari gets ahead on it, but doesn't manage to divert it into the direction that Arsenal were hoping. And it's gone out for a Villarreal goal kick. 37 minutes on the clock here. Arsenal 0, Villarreal 0. Big hello to Lee Chappie joining us in the chat as well. How you doing, mate? Big hello to Paul, Joe the fan. Hope you're all well. Archangel has probably described this first half brilliantly when he says absolute boring garbage. Yeah, hard to disagree with that, mate. It really, really is. Here's Odegaard. The ball breaks nicely for Smith Rowe. Looks to feed Aubameyang coming down the left hand side, looking to cut in onto that right foot. Aubameyang shoots at goal. Rooney's let it run underneath his body, but luckily for Villarreal, it didn't have enough on it after it had squirmed through the Villarreal goalkeeper. He completely lost it. He got two hands on it, Rooney, and ended up pushing it between his legs. But luckily for Villarreal, there wasn't enough on the ball and he was able to spin and pounce upon the ball. Emile Smith-Rowe was trying to follow in, but he was too far away. But nervy moments for Villarreal, nervy moments from Geronimo Rulli. And we've seen, if we can feed Aubameyang, we can make things happen. Because already, he's only been on the ball twice, Aubameyang really. He's only been in good positions twice. But having got into those positions, he's caused Villarreal some really difficult moments. Here come the visitors on the attack with Moreno. Oh, and the ball might have been deflected to, oh my God, Jesus. The ball was played into the box there by Gerard Moreno. He was trying to pick out a teammate, and Pablo Mari stuck a foot out and diverted it just wide of Bernd Leno's right post. From the angle that we're watching it at, it looked like it was goal bound. Fortunately, it's just wide. It's going to be a Villarreal corner, but Arsenal experiencing a nervy moment of their own just there. Jesus. Whew. Dani Parejo is going to take the corner for Villarreal. All the big boys are forward. In comes the delivery, met by the head of Holding. Raul Albiol gets something on it at the far post. Kicks it against an Arsenal defender and wins Villarreal a second successive corner. Raul Albiol popping up in that back post position from which he scored in the first leg. He struck it against Nicolas Pepe this time. And wins Villarreal a corner. 40 minutes on the clock. Half time fast approaching. Lots of you expressing your disappointment at the performance so far, and I don't blame you. Corners headed away by Holding, but Villarreal have it straight back. Here's Parejo on the right. Ball into the substitute Pino. Aubameyang was back doing his defensive work there. Yeremy Pino is, of course, the man who replaced Samuel Chukwueze a little bit earlier on. Manchester United lead in Rome. Edinson Cavani with a goal around about 5 minutes before half time. The tie was done and dusted, wasn't it? Cavani keeps scoring. Meanwhile, Arsenal can't bloody create a chance. Leno has the ball in his hands for the Gunners. He's taking his bloody sweet time over it. Rolls it out to Pablo Mari, just square of him. Then gets it back. The German, there have been rumours linking him with a move away from the football club in the summer. He chips a ball out towards the right. Bellerin challenges in the air with Pedraza. It's going to be an Arsenal throw-in. Down in front of Unai Emery's dugout. Unai Emery pacing up and down the technical areas. He'd have been in the opposite technical area, just a few yards from him. Plenty of times. Just having to manage from the away bench. This time Unai Emery on this latest visit to the Emirates Stadium. Here is Parejo for Villarreal. Plays it forward. Nice touch by the substitute Pino. Holds off the challenge of Tierney and then plays it back to Geronimo Rulli in the Villarreal goal. He dinks one out to the left. Pedraza with a first time ball down the line. Foul by Rob Holding on Paco Alcácer. And he can't have any complaints really, Rob Holding. He came into the back of Alcácer, and once as a striker you get your body in between the defender and the ball, then any contact is more often than not going to lead to you being awarded a free kick. And that's exactly what happened. Here is Coquelin in midfield. I can see some of you asking if I'd make changes at this point. We'll discuss it at half time. Something needs to change. Here come Arsenal on the attack. Here's Saka on the right hand side. Oh, that's a really bad cross from Bukayo Saka. He gets in behind. Arsenal finally break away, work the space, create the overload with Odegaard doing really well to pick out Saka. He takes the touch with his stronger left foot, brings it onto his right. And I'm not sure what his intention was there. I'm sure it was to stand one up at the far post, but he's got it horribly wrong, Bukayo Saka. I talked about him being out of sorts in the build-up to the game. And we're seeing that again from Bukayo Saka. He's just lacking that quality in the final third, and he's lacked it for a few weeks now. Yet he's still selected. This is where I struggle with Arteta sometimes, you know. On the one hand, he's trying to build this meritocracy where people only play when they're performing, where good performances earn you a place in the side, where attitude is everything, where competition is key. Yet there's somebody like Gabriel Martinelli who delivered at the weekend and doesn't get a look in ahead of someone like Bukayo Saka, who's been off the boil for weeks. Now, I know I said I wouldn't have started Martinelli. But when you watch Saka's performance so far, why the hell not? Here come Villarreal on the attack with Pino looking to pick out Trigueros. He's managed to keep it alive. Arsenal wanted an offside. Yeah, they're not going to get it. Villarreal still in possession around the edge of Arsenal's penalty area. A ball dinked into the box. Well won by Pablo Mari in the air. Good turn from Pepe to get away from his man, and he wins Arsenal a free kick and provides them with a bit of respite there. They've taken it quickly though. Why? Why put yourselves under pressure? Right at the end of the first half. Here's Bellerin into Partey. Helps it on. Odegaard flicks it round the corner. Villarreal back in possession though with the goalkeeper, Rulli. It's been so easy for Villarreal, barring that one moment where Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang struck the ball against the post. Arsenal have offered very, very little. Very little. Gabriel Martinelli watching on from the substitutes bench. They're chomping at the bit to get on. Always is. Gabriel Martinelli. Here's Pepe. Back to Partey. Now to Bellerin. Into Saka. Saka has it on the right wing. Cuts inside onto that left foot of his and rolls it back to Rob Holding. Now it's with Pablo Mari. Now Tierney. He's not really been able to get up and down that flank as he normally would. Understandable. He wasn't even going to start tonight. He's been thrown in right at the last minute, but here he is. Here's Pepe. Tierney going on the outside of him. Tierney drives it in low and it's blocked at the near post by Mario Gaspar. It's going to be an Arsenal corner right on the stroke of half time here. There were 3 minutes added on and we've had around about a minute and 10 seconds of that so far. A little bit longer, minute and 20. Can Arsenal have one last chance before we go in for the break? Odegaard puts it into the box. Met by a Villarreal head. It might fall for Pepe, but a free kick has been given against Arsenal for a foul on Raul Albiol. Perhaps using his experience there, the former Real Madrid defender. Yeah, just got tugged back a little bit. Ended up in a bit of a tangle there. Raul Albiol has won his team a free kick and looks as though that might be some of the last action in this first period. Villarreal in possession inside the Arsenal half. And Arsenal have a throw-in. Much to the disappointment of Villarreal because Moreno felt he played for that. Felt he should have been given it. Mikel Arteta having some strong words with the fourth official. I'm not sure what on earth about. But he's been warned, Mikel Arteta, to calm down. I'm not sure you can take issue with the officiating tonight. Arsenal just haven't been good enough. Arsenal just haven't been at the races. It's as simple as that. But it's still a long way to go in this one. Still a very long way to go. Raul Albiol down in a heap again. Feels like Villarreal are pulling all those old tricks out of the bag. We're not even at half time yet. Ball thrown down the line, headed on by Moreno. There it is. The half-time whistle has gone at the Emirates Stadium. It is currently Arsenal 0, Villarreal 0. Villarreal, of course, leading this tie on aggregate by 2-1. Arsenal have done very little to show that they're going to turn this one around. Still plenty of time to go, and a 1-0 win for the Gunners would, of course, see them progress, courtesy of that away goal scored by Nicolas Pepe in Spain last week. But it's been a poor half from the Gunners in truth. No matter how much you want to defend Mikel Arteta or the team, there's no doubt about it. It has simply not been good enough. Plenty of time remaining, which is obviously a positive, and fingers crossed we'll see Arsenal break the deadlock in the second half. Get your questions into the live chat. I want to hear from you guys. What have you got to say? What did you make of that first half performance? Is there anything you would change? Is there anybody you would switch? It's a tough one, isn't it? Because you look at the side, and I look at it, and I look at the players that are playing from an attacking perspective, right? Aubameyang, somebody who you'd want your chance to fall to. So you don't want to take him off. You look at Bukayo Saka. He's just not been at the races for me. For me, he'd probably be the one that I would look at moving off. I think Pepe's looked lively. Hasn't always looked brilliant, but has looked lively. Has worked really hard as well. Has defended quite well. So Pepe, I would keep on. Emile Smith-Rowe has been busy as well. I think he carries the ball really well. I think he's linked up with people really well. Just missing that killer pass. I think Odegaard and Saka are the two that maybe aren't quite pulling their weight at the moment when you're talking about that front line. So I'd consider potentially changing those. But look, I don't expect Mikel to make changes at half time. I think that the big concern for me at the moment, and it was a big concern in the first leg, was that midfield area. Because particularly now where you've got Smith-Rowe and Odegaard supposedly in there, you're essentially leaving Thomas Partey there so often completely alone. And you talk about Bellerin tucking in, and that's part of the plan, and Smith-Rowe as well. It's not really worked though. I think Villarreal have worked out those areas pretty well, and they've not allowed Arsenal to overrun them. They didn't allow Arsenal to overrun them in that area in the first leg either, and I think that's key to Villarreal staying in this game. So I think Arsenal, if they're going to make a change, probably need to address that first and foremost. But as well, there's so many other factors, like just basic things like the tempo needs to increase. There needs to be more urgency. There needs to be more zip. There needs to be more, more determination, more fight, more battle. Things need to be done quicker. It's just not happening at the moment. So there's lots to be concerned about. Of course there is. But I guess we've got to take some encouragement from the fact that it is just half time. A 1-0 win would see Arsenal progress to the final of the UEFA Europa League. And often on occasions like this, nerves can get the better of you and games can turn out to be a little bit cagey. But, this is not good enough. You want to see more fight. You want to see more determination, particularly given that we're trailing in this tie. Let's not forget that. This is not a 0-0 and you're looking at it and you're going, well, as long as we stay in the game, anything is possible and a chance might come along. We're trailing. We have to score. If we don't score, we're out. This is not a 0-0, a normal 0-0, if you like. There are, so many factors to this, and Arsenal need to score a goal, and they need to do it, if anything, just to settle the nerves a little bit earlier on. I really do. Junior Gunner says this feels like a home game in the group stage. Yeah, agreed, man. It's just not good enough. It really isn't. It's disappointing. It's frustrating. Does he make changes now? Does he make changes sort of 10-15 minutes into the second half? I don't really know what the answer is, if I'm completely honest. But as I say, get your questions into the live chat box. I'm going to take a very short break. I'm literally going to be a couple of minutes, and I'll be back with you. Stay where you are. Get your questions in. I want to hear from you. And we'll chat in a couple of minutes' time. We'll work through some of those questions and try and work out how best Arsenal should approach this second period. Be back in a couple. Welcome back to the Chronicles of a Gooner, the live watch-along of Villarreal, or Arsenal versus Villarreal in the second leg of our UEFA Europa League semi-final. It's not been a good half for the Gunners. We've not looked anywhere near good enough. We've not been on the pace. We've not created enough chances. We've looked a little bit shaky defensively at certain times. It's been a real painful watch this first period, much like the first leg was really. I think personnel-wise that Mikel, probably got it right, actually. But then obviously the injury to Granit Xhaka makes a difference. You've then got to replace him, and he's replaced him with Kieran Tierney, who looks half fit. Not for a second suggesting he's been the problem, but he is half fit. And then you look in the midfield and you wonder how this was ever going to work with Smith Rowe and Odegaard in there alongside Partey, or not alongside Partey, which is probably the point here. So yeah, it's been a worrying half. I think Hector Bellerin, I called for Hector Bellerin to start, but he's been absolutely shit, to put it kindly. Bukayo Saka's been shit. Martin Odegaard has been largely ineffective. It's just not been good enough from Arsenal. The closest we've come, obviously, to breaking the deadlock was that effort from Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang that came crashing off of the foot of Geronimo Rulli's post after the ball fell to him inside the penalty area. He had another attempt at Aubameyang which squirmed under the goalkeeper's body. But of course Rulli was far enough from his goal for that not to cross the line by the time he turned around and picked it up. It's been a really painful watch, and I'd love to get some of your questions in the chat. So if you've got some, if you've put them in, I apologise. The chat's been updating, so drop some in between now and the start of the second half, and we'll pick up as many as we possibly can. But one thing is for certain, and that is that this Arsenal side need to improve, and they need to improve dramatically. It's been a really poor display. It's been a really painful watch. Mikel Arteta will be fully aware of that. And I talked about it earlier on. I talked about the fact that if we get eliminated from this competition, then perhaps it would be time for Mikel Arteta to go. Look, if Arsenal got knocked out tonight and Mikel Arteta got sacked in the morning, I wouldn't take pleasure in it, but I'd understand it. And so I wouldn't go, mad about it. To be so bad in the league is one thing, right? To be sitting mid-table is obviously terrible and it's poor. But to not make up for that by performing in the cup competitions or delivering one of the cup competitions, or at least making the final in the cup competition, is completely unacceptable. And the fact is that the way things are looking at half time, they're not looking good. If it was to finish now, Villarreal go through. Obviously Arsenal just need the one goal. If they're able to keep a clean sheet, a 1-0 win does it, and so you can't count us out. But you don't really see anything in this Arsenal side that says, we're really up for this tonight, or we really want this. We're really desperate for this. It's been so half-assed. It's been so lackluster. It's been extremely disappointing. We've lacked zip. We've lacked tempo. We've lacked guile, creativity, energy. We've lacked all of those things, and it's a concern. It's a worry. But the second half is just around the corner, and fingers crossed Arsenal can put it right, because I tell you one thing, the meltdown that will follow if Arsenal fail to progress here will be absolutely crazy, and one like we've never seen before. Xander says you'd have think the protesters chanting as the coach arrived would have given the players a bounce. Agree. Appears to have done the opposite, doesn't it? No, I'm not blaming those people, but it appears to have had zero effect whatsoever. John says it's boring, Harry. We're boring. These tactics are shocking. I'm Arteta in, but these players need a rocket up their asses. Rock Foundation Fashion says, have we not learned from Frank Lampard at Chelsea? And Frank had experience, unlike Mikel. Ramsey says, who do you want to replace Arteta? It's a tough one, mate. It depends who's available at the time. It depends what the club are willing to do in the transfer market, who they're, whether they're willing to match whoever comes in's demands, or whoever I want to come in's demands. I'm not going to get drawn into speculation about who should replace him, because Arsenal at the moment have Mikel Arteta as the manager, and I think it would be wrong to discuss people replacing him in the middle of a game this bloody big. But, you know, as I say, you do fear for him if Arsenal aren't able to get over the line in this tie. You really, really do. You know, you go to a final, you lose in a one-off game, it's a bit different. You know, we all know and accept and appreciate and understand that whilst it kills us, Manchester United are a better side than us. So if you lose to Manchester United, I'm not saying it's acceptable, but it's not unforgivable. But to get dumped out by this side, it is, in my opinion, unforgivable. Because I don't even think they're any good. And that's the real frustration here. John says, you look drained, Harry. It's painful watching this team. Another 45 minutes incoming. Buckle up, guys. Mate, I feel so drained. I feel like this tiredness has come over me off the back of watching that first half. And listen, forget the watch-alongs, right? Because the watch-alongs are a lot more casual and a lot more chilled out. And you don't have to be professional at all times. And you can have a bit of a laugh and a joke and talk about something else or whatever. I've commentated on some absolutely shit games this season in the Premier League. And this is right up there. It's just so draining watching this Arsenal team. You know, I complained about watching Arsenal under Emery. My God, if I'd have known this was coming, maybe I'd have kept my mouth shut. But it's so frustrating, man. So bloody frustrating. But the second half, as I say, is just around the corner. Let's see how it's going to go. Sam says, I've backed Arteta, but this leg and last week is fully on him. He needs to take the blame. The complete wrong shape and formation, not subbing Ceballos last week. Patrick says, we always play better in the second half. I love that enthusiasm. I really do. Cavell says, man, you need some booze. I'm trying not to drink nothing like that. I've just grabbed a bottle of water out of the fridge because, as I say to you guys, I've had a nasty cold this week. I've taken so many paracetamols just to be able to, just to be able to do a watch along without coughing and sneezing and wanting to fall asleep. So to then bloody end up drinking would probably make me feel 100 times worse. But anyway, the teams are back out on the pitch, and the second half here is just around the corner. Villarreal, of course, back out. Arsenal back out. Arsenal first out. Arsenal looking focused. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang's looking focused anyway, and hopefully he can get us across the line. And as Eli says, let's be positive. Exactly. Let's be positive. Arsenal are going to kick us back off. Aubameyang is the man standing over the ball. Arsenal attacking the North Bank, the empty North Bank. Can the imaginary crowd roar them on to scoring the goal that we so desperately need? Back underway here at the Emirates Stadium. Let me just there we go. Let me just sort out the clock for you guys. Apologies, I forgot to bloody press it at the time, and now I have to sync it up. It's what happens when you're feeling drained, dejected. There we go. We're now in sync. Now in sync. Ball played forward down the right. Saka will chase it. No changes, of course, from either side at half time. Throw in taken from the right. It's now with Bellerin. Infield to Pablo Mari. Come on, let's up it. Maybe if we up the energy on the watch along, Arsenal will improve. Who knows? Maybe we can transmit it. Ball in behind. Here's Pepe inside the box. Strikes towards the far post. Nicolo Pepe, and it's just wide of Ruli's post. Lively start to the second period for Arsenal, though. It was Tierney cutting inside and then just stabbing a ball in between a couple of Villarreal defenders. It fell to Pepe. He put his foot through it. Went to go across the goal, which was the right thing to do in theory. But it's just wide of the goal. Rulli wasn't to know that though. He was at full stretch there, diving across. And Villarreal have given the ball away on the edge of their box. Odegaard's picked it up. Here's Partey now. Nice ball into Smith Rowe. He's got Pepe on the outside of him. Here is Nicolas Pepe. Low ball into the box. Blocked. Pepe gets it back. Here is Tierney now. Back to Pepe once more. Need that energy. Need that tempo. Here is Partey. Into Smith Rowe. Back to Kieran Tierney at left back. Switches the play. Long ball out towards the right. It will reach Bellerin. No, it won't. Good defending in the end from Alfonso Pedraza. It's going to be an Arsenal throw-in on the right-hand side. Nope, it's going to be a Villarreal throw-in. My bad. Let's quickly run you through the starting 11. It's the same team that started the first half. It's Leno, Tierney, Marie, Holding, Bellerin, Xhaka, Partey, Odegaard, Pepe, Smith Rowe and Aubameyang. Here is Saka looking for Aubameyang. It's a bad ball again from Bukayo Saka. Arsenal's whole right side has been hopeless this evening. Here come Villarreal though down the right hand side. Here's the substitute Pino. Dispossessed though. Or I wouldn't say dispossessed. It was a heavy touch from him, which led to him conceding a throw-in. Tierney would take it. Hooks it forward. Does Kieran Tierney. Aubameyang's underneath it, but Raul Albiol comes out on top in that aerial duel. Here's Tierney at left back for the Gunners. His clearance is blocked. They'll go out for an Arsenal throw-in on the left-hand side. Come on! Let's up the tempo. We've got the players. We're better than Villarreal. But for whatever reason, over these two legs, we've just not turned up. Here's Pepe. Back to Partey in midfield. He'll play the ball out to the right-hand side for Saka. Takes it under control. He's got Bellerin making a run on the outside of him. Here is Hector Bellerin. Into the penalty area it goes. Rulli's missed it. It'll fall to Emile Smith-Rowe. Dinks it over the goalkeeper who was down on the ground after stretching for the ball, Geronimo Rulli, and failing to clear it. Emile Smith-Rowe's tried to dink it in towards the far post and it's gone just wide. It's another really good chance from Arsenal. Another good chance that goes begging. Rulli was all over the place there, and when the ball fell to Smith Rowe, of all players you'd have backed him to have the composure to pick out that far corner. The idea was right from Emile Smith Rowe. He just dinked it over the onrushing defenders and Geronimo Rulli, who was down on the ground, but as I say, it's wide of the post. Here's Emile Smith Rowe. Tierney hooks it forward. Aubameyang into Emile Smith Rowe. Now it's with Francis Coquelin on the halfway line. Dinks a ball forward towards Paco Alcácer, who was making a run in behind. But Arsenal have it back now with Bellerin at right back. He'll leave it for Emile Smith Rowe. Martin Odegaard. He'll drive forward. Looks for Saka. It's a sloppy pass. Really sloppy pass from Martin Odegaard. But Saka wins it back immediately for the Gunners. Plays it in field to Aubameyang. Can he pick out a teammate? Does. Finds Odegaard. In towards the far post from Odegaard. Headed up into the air by the Villarreal defender. Pepe then has a stab at it, but Villarreal win possession back and they'll bring the ball clear. Mikel Arteta just indicating to the referee that there's been a clash of heads between Nicolas Pepe and Mario Gaspar, the Villarreal right back. Both are down in a heap. Both are receiving treatment. And as it is a head injury, play has been stopped by the Slovenian referee. Big hello to everybody watching us live at the moment. Don't forget, if you haven't done so already, during this break of play, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new. It really, really does help. It's going to be a bit of a stoppage here because of the coming together between Mario Gaspar and Nicolas Pepe. Pepe sitting up now, which is obviously encouraging. Xander says he'd like to see Cedric on for Bellerin and Martinelli on for Saka. Move Oba left, Pepe right and Martinelli up top. I wouldn't be against that either, to be fair. Not a bad shout at all. Pepe looks fine. Mario Gaspar getting a good seeing to from the medical side as well. Westbird says, go get that hot toddy, Harry. I don't want to take my eyes off it. That's the problem. Big hello and thank you to Paul Joe the fan for his very, very kind donation. Very kind super chat donation. Thank you so much, mate. He says, Harry, being called into a meeting. Hope you feel better, mate. I'll stay on as much as I can. Sorry, but take care, mate. No worries at all. I know it's during working hours for you guys over there across the pond. So I appreciate you tuning in, mate, and appreciate your very kind donation. Take care, pal, and I'm sure we'll speak very soon. Here at Arsenal on the ball on the halfway line. Partey dispossessed in a dangerous position. Villarreal are on the attack here. It might fall for Gerard Moreno. Shoots towards goal. Thankfully, it was an easy save for Bernd Leno in the end because Moreno really never got hold of that shot. But another major warning sign for Arsenal with regards to what Villarreal are capable of on the break. Remember, if Villarreal manage to score a goal tonight, Arsenal need 2 to force it to extra time. That's how significant a Villarreal goal would be here. Connor Hanley says, on the way home on the cargo bike, come on Arsenal, Harry. I hope you had the Diego Maradona tee on, lad. I haven't today. Maybe that's why we're not playing very well. Mind you, I wore it last week and we were shit. So who knows? Arsenal win the ball back again. Mari smashing a ball into Odegaard that he was never going to control. Here's Moreno for Villarreal. Looking for the run of Pedraza on the outside of him, but Bellerin was alert to it. He just guides it back to Rob Holding. That's with Pablo Mari. Back to Leno. Into Partey. Joe says we only need 1 goal. Yeah, at this moment, but if Villarreal score, we then need 2. Here is Emile Smith-Rowe coming forward. Finds Pepe on the outside of him. Pepe whips a low ball into the penalty area. Gathered by Rulli inside his 6-yard box, down on the ground. Arsenal have started this second half with a much better tempo though. That's what we want to see. Here's Pau Torres. Now it's with Trigueros in midfield. Has Pedraza on the outside of him. He checks back after Arsenal get plenty of bodies back behind the ball. Now it's with Dani Parejo. Into Francis Coquelin. Takes a touch and just plays it back to Parejo. First time. Finds a ball into Gerard Moreno. Looks to pick out Paco Alcácer. Made a run in behind, but Arsenal have won it back. Here's Odegaard carrying it forward for the Gunners. Skips inside Pedraza. Looking much more lively in this second period is Martin Odegaard. Here is Kieran Tierney now with a ball to Pepe on the left flank. Tierney continues his run down the left flank. Looks to go beyond Gaspar, but was dispossessed. Here is Mario Gaspar. Now Moreno for Villarreal. I think that ball might have gone out. It has. It's going to be an Arsenal throw-in. Pepe leaves it for Tierney. Tierney takes it quickly. Here's Pablo Mari. Back to Tierney and back to Mari again. Big hello to Joel Polton and thank you for your kind words, mate. Really appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you to everyone who's tuned in, as always. Don't forget, if you want to become a member of the Chronicles of a Gooner channel, you can do so by clicking on the link in the description. Raul Albiol just nicking the ball off of the toes of Emile Smith-Rowe there and carrying it really far forward for Villarreal. Here's Trigueros on the edge of the box, shoots towards goal, blocked by Holding. Falls to Paco Alcácer though. The away side still alive here with Dani Parejo. Here's Coquelin out to the right flank. The danger's not gone yet for Arsenal. Here is Raul Albiol at the back. Goes all the way back to Rulli in the Villarreal goal. Now it's with Torres. Left-footed ball into the feet of Gerard Moreno. Turns away from Emile Smith-Rowe and then plays it right to the substitute. Looks to go beyond Kieran Tierney. Cuts the ball back. It took a deflection off Tierney and ended up at the feet of Thomas Partey. Partey's completely miskicked that and given the ball back to Villarreal on the edge of our own penalty area. Luckily, they've been forced back, but they're still in possession. And you can see what Villarreal are trying to do, right? They're just trying to take the sting out of the game right now. They know that it's going to be difficult to breach that Arsenal defence when everybody's back behind the ball. But they're more than happy to just keep possession, to slow things down and take the sting out of the second half, because Arsenal started the second half in a much livelier fashion. Villarreal put a ball into the far post and Bernd Leno got a hand to it. What the hell has the referee pointed for? The pictures have veered away. I'm just having another look at this. Ball was played in behind, struck across the penalty area. Bernd Leno got a hand to it. Yeah, Bernd Leno got a hand to that. I wonder if the referee pointed for a goal kick and that was why they went mad. I don't know. It is a corner though. It's a Villarreal corner. After Bernd Leno had to dive down to his right hand side and parry it around the post. I think it was going wide anyway, but can't take any risks. Roma back on level terms against Manchester United. Edin Dzeko with the goal for Roma, who of course will be under Jose Mourinho's management next season. I've got no idea why on earth they've gone and done that, but anyway, that's a topic for another day. Trigueros chips one into the Arsenal box, well held by Bernd Leno, who came flying out like Superman. Luckily, he landed with the ball in his hands. Partey to Holding. Now it's with Martin Odegaard. Dropping deeper and deeper is the Norwegian to try and get on the ball as much as he possibly can. Here is Pablo Mari into Tierney. Always looking to play that early ball down the line. Nice touch from Emile Smith-Rowe. Gets in on the other side of Albiol as well, but the deflection didn't fall kindly. The second one does. Odegaard shoots from distance, blocked by Parejo. That initial touch from Emile Smith-Rowe was brilliant. And he ended up getting on the right side of Albiol, but the subsequent deflection wasn't quite right. Tierney might have given that away. Pablo Mari was there just in the nick of time. Arsenal under real pressure at the back as Tierney played the ball across towards Pablo Mari, who was under immense pressure from the on-rushing Villarreal attackers. They managed to get the ball back safely to Bernd Leno in the end. But that was a scare for Arsenal. Odegaard with a heavy touch. He's lost out. Trigueros carries it forward. Odegaard's gone down and he stayed down in a heap. Ball delivered into the Arsenal penalty area. Paco Alcácer can't get on the end of it. Now he and Pablo Mari have gone down. And the ball's found its way to Kieran Tierney. Are we going to see a stoppage in play here? Pablo Mari is still down. Paco Alcácer's picked himself up. It's been all action in the last few minutes here at the Emirates Stadium. Odegaard's down. Pablo Mari's down. Arsenal have two players currently on the floor in a heap. Odegaard was caught after a heavy touch. It was a fair challenge from the Villarreal man. Trigueros gets the ball, but in his follow-through, I think he just catches Martin Odegaard. He stays down, and then, of course, Pablo Mari, in his efforts to prevent Paco Alcácer getting on the end of the subsequent cross, has also gone down and stayed down. Roma 2-1 up now against Manchester United. The comeback is on. 7-4 on aggregate to Manchester United. I'm just looking at this situation a little bit earlier on when the ball was played to Gerard Moreno on the edge. He was inside Arsenal's box. He did really well to create the space for the shot. Just showed a little dummy to Tierney. Stepped inside him. Wrong-footed Pablo Mari as well. But having got into the right position, he got nothing on the shot. Nothing on it whatsoever. And it was a comfortable save in the end for Bernd Leno. Pablo Mari's still down and he's still receiving treatment. Gabriel Martinelli is stripped and ready. So he is going to be entering proceedings sooner rather than later. What are Arsenal going to do at the back though? Another break in play. Odegaard is back up on his feet, but Pablo Mari is not. Don't forget, smash the like button if you haven't done so already during this break in play. What better time to do it? Don't forget, we're bringing you a post-match podcast as well a little bit later on this evening. Keep your notifications turned on if you're subscribed, of course. For details on that, we're going for 10:15, 10:20, but if, as I say, the game goes to extra time, we'll have to delay that. Villarreal are wanting. Oh, I've just seen what Pablo Mari's done. He's completely rolled over his right ankle. That's horrible. He sort of leaned into Paco Alcácer to just put him off his stride as he went to attack the ball, and he's rolled the right ankle, Pablo Mari. Play's back underway though. He's back on the pitch. But that looked a painful one. I'd be surprised if he continues the whole game. He looks okay. Good luck to him, but looked like a nasty one. Abdallah says, when are you going to be doing call-ins? We'll get a couple in the diary very, very soon, my friend. Here is Torres at the back. Chips it out towards the right-hand side. Played back to Torres again in the heart of the Villarreal defence. Plays a ball into Parejo, who was caught by an over-enthusiastic Martin Odegaard. Play continues though. Here's Parejo again. Back to Raul Albiol. He switches the ball out to the left-hand side. Pedraza takes the touch. 63 minutes on the clock here. Arsenal need a bloody goal. Otherwise, they'll be out of the Europa League. Out at the semi-final stage. Parejo with a ball, a lofted ball out to the right, just cushioned down by Mario Gaspar. He gets it back from his teammate, does Gaspar. Parejo. Back to Raul Albiol, and I talked about it a few minutes ago. Villarreal looking to take the sting out of this game desperately. Here is Dani Parejo. In possession once more. Chips it out towards the left-hand side. Bellerin gets ahead on it, but it'll fall to Trigueros on the edge of the penalty area. Whipped into the box. Deflects off Bellerin, and luckily Tierney was there at the far post to hook it clear for Arsenal. Villarreal causing us some problems of their own now. Here they come. Here's Gaspar. Whips it in low. Cut out at the near post. This time by Pablo Mari. It's going to be a Villarreal corner. Wesbird says, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate this performance, Harry? 2. If that, that's generous. It's been really bad. Apart from a couple of moments where we've looked to carry a little bit of threat, overall it's been really poor. Really poor. It's going to be a Villarreal corner. Dani Parejo is going to deliver it. Right-footed, in it comes, met by Pablo Mari. It will fall to a Villarreal man. I think it was Pedraza, struck it towards goal, and then it's cleared by Arsenal. Hooked back into the mix, though. Villarreal desperately trying to cancel out Arsenal's away goal from that first leg. Here comes the substitution. Gabriel Martinelli is on. Martin Odegaard is off. Interesting. Will Martinelli go on the flank and maybe Saka move into the 10 role? Let's have a look how this is going to pan out. But Martinelli is on. It looks like Martinelli is going to play from the left flank, which means Pepe will go to the right and Saka will probably play in a more central position. I think Saka's been shit tonight. I'd get him off as well. Arsenal have a goal kick after some good defensive work from Pablo Mari. He's been really good tonight. He wasn't very good in the first leg. He's been much improved this evening. Here is Bellerin at right back. Now it's with Leno. Majid says, I'm staying up at 4:30 for this. They keep letting us fans down. Mate, my hat off to you if it's 4:30 in the morning and you are watching this absolute shit. My hat goes off to you. And you know, when people say that fans abroad don't care as much, as absolute bollocks. Because I tell you what, if there won't be a lot of people here staying up till 4:30 in the morning to watch this absolute shit from Arsenal. So fair play to you, man. Villarreal with a throw-in midway inside Arsenal's half. Abdallah is referred to Mikel Arteta as the Paella Mick McCarthy. I've heard the Pulis one, whatever it is, Spanish Pulis, Tapas Pulis, whatever it is. That's a new one for me. Clement says it's 4:26 a.m. here, mate. Again, hats off to you guys. Mikel Arteta, look at him. He's sprinting around the touchline, trying to get to the ball every time it goes out to speed things up for Arsenal. He knows his team have only got around about 23 minutes to score that all-important goal. Because if they don't, we are heading out at the semi-final stage. Tierney into Saka. Villarreal win it back, and Villarreal are coming forward. And of course, if Villarreal do score, Arsenal will need two to force this to extra time. Here is Coquelin to Torres. Just rolls it square to Danny Parejo, who always drops in between those two centre-backs. Makes them tick, Danny Parejo. A bit of a metronome in the midfield. Here's Parejo. Ball out to the right, taken under control. Played back to Mario Gaspar. He goes back to Raul Albiol. Villarreal enjoying a sustained period of possession. Torres chips it forward, looking for the run of Alcácer. Holding takes the touch and then plays it back to Leno. Not the easiest pass to control, and Leno's second touch was a heavy one. He was under pressure. Managed to get it clear in the end though, Bernd Leno. But my God, you could see it from the pass from Rob Holding. It was such a bad pass that it was always going to be difficult for Bernd Leno to control it. And therefore, he ends up in problems. And they're going to bring on a striker. They're going to bring on Carlos Bacca. Here's Aubameyang. Out to the right for Pepe. He's got Bellerin on the outside of him. Pepe puts it into the box, left-footed towards Aubameyang, headed clear. Parejo. Now Trigueros for Villarreal. Arsenal win it back though with Thomas Partey. Gets it back from Holding. And then rolls it square to Pablo Mari. Here's Martinelli on the left. Steps inside his man. He whips one into the box, but it's blocked again. Here's Tierney on the left. Now to Martinelli, who was in a slightly more advanced position. Looks for the run of Saka. He goes down under the challenge of Francis Coquelin. Arsenal win a free kick almost on the byline, just to the left of Villarreal's penalty area. Saka took a touch and just invited the contact from Francis Coquelin. I talked about it earlier on. Coquelin is one of those people. He is one of those people that if you give him a sniff, he will make the challenge. He'll commit the foul. He's always had that in him, Francis Coquelin. It's clumsiness. And Arsenal have a free kick, which Bukayo Saka and Emile Smith-Rowe are both standing over. Come on, Arsenal. Can we make it count? That is the big question here. As things stand, it's just the one goal Arsenal need, and they've got 20 minutes to do it. Saka puts it into the box. Holding heads towards goal, but it's over the top of the crossbar. Holding always does so well to get on the end of deliveries, but he very rarely hits the target. He's done it again. He rose brilliantly ahead of Mario Gaspar. Had lots of time there. Rob Holding, that's a free header. from Rob Holding. He's got to do better than that. He's got to hit the target. He really, really has to do better there. I know he's a centre-back. I know you don't rely on your centre-backs to score goals. But that's a really good opportunity for Rob Holding, and it's gone begging. Big hello to Peerworth Paul, who's joining us from Uganda. Hope you're well. Let us know what time it is in Uganda right now. Villarreal just making a change. They've replaced Paco Alcácer, who's run a lot of sort of doggies, if you like, this evening. He's been chasing a lot of balls in behind in the channels, not really had much of it at his feet, but he's been replaced by Carlos Bacca, who's equally good at doing those things, and of course carries a goal threat. Arsenal are readying another change themselves. Alexander Lacazette is getting stripped and ready. Here is Saka into Thomas Partey. Here's Martinelli on the left hand side. Back to Tierney. Tierney will cross from the left. In it comes. Coquelin gets a foot on it. Comes to Partey. Gets a shot away from distance. Thomas Partey. He's taking a deflection. It's going to be an Arsenal corner. Come on. Little over 15 minutes of normal time remaining here at the Emirates. Arsenal in desperate need of a goal. Desperate need of a goal to book their place in the European final, the Europa League final, that is. It would be our second in 3 seasons, but we're a long way from there at the moment. Big hello to those of you in Kenya, Guernsey. Hope you're all well. In comes the corner. Delivered, left-footed, headed away by Villarreal. Emile Smith-Rowe will take down the clearance neatly. Now it's with Pepe. Puts it back into the box. Holding heads towards goal. Rob Holding's header is just wide. Again, Rob Holding getting on the end of a good cross into the box. This time it was from Nicolas Pepe. Did well to direct it and generate the power there, Rob Holding, because he was a long way out. But unfortunately, it was just wide of Geronimo Rulli's right-hand post. He was diving because he knew it was close. It's another chance that goes begging. Not as clear-cut as the one that Rob Holding had just a moment ago, but he was unlucky there. Here's Martinelli. Partey gets a shot away. Partey's caught in the penalty area. What's the referee given? He's given it the other way. He's given it the other way. Apologies, my throat just completely went there. Thomas Partey took a touch, was about to get a shot away. There was a sliding challenge from the Villarreal player. I'm just having another look at it. No, he gets a toe on the ball, Yeremy Pino just gets the slightest of touches on the ball, and then Thomas Partey kicks through him. Looked like a penalty initially, but upon reflection, it's the right call. Really good saving challenge that from Yeremy Pino, the Villarreal substitute. Of course, the man who replaced Samuel Chukwueze in the first half. Pablo Mari wins a defensive header, but Villarreal pick up the scraps. Here they come on the attack. Here's Coquelin, looks to help it on for Trigueros, but Partey was back there strong and wins the ball for Arsenal, who will break away. Saka with the ball out to the right. Picked up by Emile Smith-Rowe. Aubameyang making a run in behind. Just had to curve his run, Aubameyang. Pepe has it now on the right wing for the Gunners. Aubameyang visibly frustrated at the fact that he didn't get that ball earlier. Here's Tierney on the left now. Martinelli making a move on the outside of him, but Tierney goes infield to Marie. Now it's with Holding into Emile Smith-Rowe. Holding into Pepe. Nice first time ball into Smith-Rowe. The pair linking really, really well. Now it's with Partey in midfield for the Gunners. Almost dispossessed there by Carlos Bacca, but Arsenal still have it. Here's Tierney. Out to Martinelli, who's pulled right out onto the left flank and skips inside the challenge of Pino. Looking up, looking to make something happen. Wants it straight back, Gabriel Martinelli, and gets it straight back off of Pablo Mari. Here's Saka on the left now. Again, Arsenal being forced in field. But that's what Villarreal want them to do. That's how Villarreal enjoy defending. And we're going to get a Just wondering what exactly has been given there, but I think it's going to be an Arsenal corner by the looks of it. Yep, it's going to be an Arsenal corner. Saka will deliver it, left-footed, in it comes. It'll fall to Martinelli, shoots towards goal, it's just wide. Oh. Ball broke to Martinelli on the edge of the box and he struck it towards goal, but it was well wide in the end. Whew. Not feeling optimistic in answer to the questions. I really am not. Ball played forward, picked up by Pablo Mari. But Arsenal have conceded a free kick for a foul on Gerard Moreno. Willian is going to come on. Willian is going to come on. I know that's going to piss a lot of people off, but I'd love Willian to score the winner here. I really bloody would. It's going to be Dani Parejo. Whips it in from the right-hand side. The Villarreal free kick. A couple of Arsenal players went down there. Pablo Mari wanted a free kick. Here comes Pepe down the right. Ball forward to Hector Bellerin. Chips it into the box. Hector Bellerin. Aubameyang rises. Aubameyang's header comes crashing off the post. He couldn't have been more than 4 or 5 yards out there, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. What a chance that was. He's headed it onto the post. My word. When you needed Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang to step up and make it happen, he failed to find the back of the net. It was a brilliant delivery from Bellerin. Aubameyang rose brilliantly. I'm just wondering if Rulli got something on that. No, he didn't. It comes straight off the post. My God. That's the second time Aubameyang has struck the frame of the goal in this match. Arsenal desperately unlucky not to have found the breakthrough goal. And you can see from Mikel Arteta's reaction just how close it was. Aubameyang's been replaced now by Lacazette. And he'll know, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, that was a huge, huge chance. That's gone begging. Around about 10 minutes remaining. Willian is on, Lacazette is on. Tierney's gone off and Aubameyang has gone off. Saka's gone to left back now. And Saka's conceded a free kick down by the byline to the right of Arsenal's penalty area. I don't understand why he's taken Aubameyang off either. You know, I know he's missed that chance, but my God, you want your goal scorers on the pitch now, don't you? Oh dear. Oh dear. Dani Parejo's going to take this free kick from the right for Villarreal. That was so close from Aubameyang. So close. Parejo puts the ball into the box, met by a Villarreal head. Leno's going to come and Leno gets there, thankfully. Leno's still got it in his hands. He wanted to release it quickly, but there wasn't much on in terms of options. Here is Smith Rowe. He's got Bellerin on the outside of him. Into Pepe. Lovely flick. Smith Rowe dinks it in. Lacazette strikes it whilst falling and it's just wide. He's given a free kick against Lacazette anyway, for the way he challenged for that. Again, good work from Bellerin and Pepe down the right. I think he was onside Lacazette, but he just sort of leaned into the defender, maybe was pulling him, wasn't he? Yeah, had a hold of Raul Albiol's arm as he tussled for position there. Oh man, Feels like one of those nights. Feels like it's going to be heartbreak for Arsenal this evening. We've struck the woodwork twice. Had the chances. I talked about the chances. I said they would come. We have had them. But as has been the case on so many occasions this season, we've not seized those opportunities when they've come along. Here's Pepe driving forward. He's been lively. Oh, nice turn that from Alberto Moreno. Or Gerard Moreno. So Alberto Moreno. Thinking of the defender. He's carried the ball really far up the pitch for Villarreal. Not got much in terms of support with him, but as I've said time and time again in this second half, Villarreal just looking to take the sting out of Arsenal. Here's Coquelin. Plays it all the way back to Rulli in goal. Smashes it forward. He's not going to find a Villarreal player. He's going to find Bukayo Saka, who will pick this up. Now playing at left back, of course. Into Willian. Can he produce the moment that Arsenal are so desperately in need of? Here's Saka. Into Pablo Mari. Long searching ball out towards the right hand side. In behind Pedraza. Good work from Bellerin to get a foot on it, but Pedraza stood his ground and wins it back for Villarreal. And they come away with the ball. Moreno just laying it off for his teammate, but Emil Smith-Rowe had tracked that ball all the way back. And now Arsenal have it with Bukayo Saka at left back. He's deep inside the Villarreal half. He's got Willian on the outside of him. Just lays it off to Willian. Thinks about the cross. Stands up his man. Just shifts it to the right and puts a delightful ball into the box. It's met by the head of Pau Torres, but it's gone up and over Geronimo Rulli's goal, and it's going to be an Arsenal corner. So Arsenal with another opportunity here, with around about 7 minutes of normal time remaining here at the Emirates Stadium. Can Arsenal find the breakthrough they so desperately need? Willian is going to take the set piece. In it comes from Willian. Tussle in the box between Lacazette and a Villarreal player that came to nothing. Ball was cleared. Arsenal still trying to keep the pressure on, but Villarreal hook it clear through Alfonso Pedraza, and it's going to be an Arsenal throw-in all the way on the halfway line. Mikel Arteta urging his team on. Unai Emery looking extremely nervous on the sidelines. He's always spoken about Arsenal in such glowing terms, but he'll be desperate. He'll be desperate to get this result. And he's around about 5.5 minutes away from doing so. Here's Saka on the left, infield to Willian. Willian gets away from his man. He was surely fouled there, but the referee doesn't want to know, and Villarreal come away with the ball. Pino played it right, but Martinelli was back, making a really strong challenge. Jeremy Pino's gone down, and he's gonna fucking time waste. It's so bloody obvious. What baffles me about referees is the way they fall for these same old tricks. Like, you must, as a refereeing at this level, you must come up against or come across this form of time wasting every single week, and they just fall for it every single time. It drives me fucking mad. Excuse the language. Ball played in behind towards Moreno, but he couldn't bring it under control, and it's going to be an Arsenal goal kick. Leno into Pablo Mari. Played it short by Leno, and he's got it back at his feet. If you're going to play it long straight away, then why don't you just play it long in the first place and not take the bloody risk? Ball played forward, and Villarreal have won themselves a free kick. It was Parejo's pass into Jeremy Pino, who's been a flipping nuisance. It's been a nuisance since he come on. He's been booked. But you have to say he's done his job. Dani Parejo from his central position. There's the opportunity to chip the ball into the Arsenal penalty area, and he does exactly that. It's towards Moreno, heads it towards Bernd Leno's goal. Comfortable catch in the end for the Arsenal goalkeeper. Throws it out to the right for Nicolas Pepe. Plays it infield to Thomas Partey. Takes a touch, almost loses possession, but then gives it away anyway. Here are Villarreal inside the Arsenal penalty area. Ball struck towards Bernd Leno's goal again, and it was a comfortable save for him. And he releases it quickly out towards the left-hand side for Willian. Now it's Martinelli looking for Willian. Takes a good touch. Willian will go beyond Raul Albiol, probably the only player on the pitch that's bloody older than him. That's why he looked like he had an abundance of pace there all of a sudden, Willian. Villarreal have given the ball away now. Here's Emile Smith-Rowe. Holding off a couple of challenges. Does really well to pick out Willian on the left-hand side. What can he do here? Willian puts it into the box. Lacazette takes it on his chest. It might fall for Martinelli. Lays it off to Bellerin. Takes a touch. Shoots towards goal. It's blocked. Bellerin puts it back in the box. It's come off a Villarreal player, I think. But I think the flag has gone up against one of the Arsenal lads for an offside. Which means it's not going to be the corner we hoped. I think Lacazette and Martinelli might have just got in each other's way there. After Martinelli took the ball down. Yeah, the flag's gone up, I think, against Martinelli once the ball had come back into the penalty area. After Bellerin's initial effort, which was blocked, the ball did take a nick off of Raul Albiol, but of course, if Martinelli was offside, then that's irrelevant. Here is Saka. Here is Lacazette. Now it's with Partey. Here's Bellerin coming down the right hand side. Hector Bellerin finds Pepe. He's inside the box here, Nicolas Pepe, but he's got so many yellow shirts around him. Cuts it back. Bellerin tries to get the shot away, and there was a defender right in his face, basically, to prevent him getting the shot away. Good work again from Pepe and Bellerin combining, and it was Francis Coquelin of all people who just got a foot in it right at the nick of time. Arsenal have a corner in the 89th minute. Will we see some late drama here at the Emirates Stadium? Willian is going to deliver the ball into the box. In it comes. It's over the top of everybody, and it's headed away by Carlos Bacca. It's going to be an Arsenal throw-in on the left-hand side, which Bukayo Saka wants to take. Not sure what has occurred in the penalty area there. Referee asking play to continue. Pepe had gone down in the box. He was being wrestled by Dani Parejo, but it's not like he prevented Pepe from getting on the end of the ball, did he? The corner delivery was so bad, it was nowhere near him. Villarreal preparing a couple of changes. Mentioned Alberto Moreno earlier on. He's one of the players who's going to be coming on. He's going to replace Alfonso Pedraza. He's going to make way, as is the substitute, Yeremy Pino. Saka with the throw-in into Pablo Mari. We're into stoppage time here at the Emirates. Looks like we're out, guys. Guys and girls, it looks like we're out. Here's Martinelli on the left. Tries to take it down on his chest. Really difficult ball to control. Arsenal got a throw in after kicked it against the defender. We've given it away again instantly. Good strong challenge that from Pablo Mari. Will it fall for an Arsenal shirt? No, it won't. And Villarreal are the ones in behind here. Bernd Leno playing the sweeper keeper role there to get there. There have been 5 minutes of time added on, by the way, which is obviously a positive, but We've had a minute and a half of that pretty much already. And we're going to see one of our players go into the book. Eddie Nketiah, who's just come on. He's gone into the book for a late challenge on Francis Coquelin. Got around about 3 minutes left to play. Richard Arhin says, as a young fan, I've never seen Arsenal win a major trophy, so it's disappointing. How young must you be, mate? We won one last season. Moy Gomez was the one who replaced Pinho. Martinelli with a flick on, and Nketiah trying to make something happen, but Arsenal are still in their own half. That's the reality. Had half of the 5 minutes added on already. What is he given now? This is just pure time wasting tactics. But we're also incredibly naive as well, you know. Nketiah's caught Mario Gaspar again. He's lucky that he's not been sent off. Not that it would really matter, but it's that immaturity. Mikel Arteta having a moan at the fourth official out of frustration. Can't excuse him anymore, sorry. This was the last straw. Ball's going to go out for an Arsenal goal kick. There's around about a minute to go. Bernd Leno in a rush to take the goal kick. Everybody in an Arsenal shirt is being urged to push forward. Arsenal on the verge of crashing out at the semi-final stage. Clearance away from Pau Torres. Willian will try and control this on the halfway line. He's fouled. Arsenal take the free kick quickly. Here's Thomas Partey on the halfway line for the Gunners. Come on, Arsenal. We've got one last chance in us, surely. Surely. Villarreal have everybody back behind the ball. Pepe blocked off. Arsenal want a free kick. They're not going to get it. Trigueros has it in a defensive position for Villarreal. Plays it forward, flicked on by Bacca, but finds Pablo Mari on the halfway line. Arsenal will come again, perhaps for the last time. Here's Saka at left back. Into the feet of Gabriel Martinelli. Infield to Partey. Just lays it off to Mari. Square to Rob Holding. Now it's with Nicolas Pepe. Whips it into the penalty area. Headed away by Danny Parejo. Flicked on by Nketiah. Lacazette backing into his man. Trying to keep this alive. But Coquelin comes away with the ball for Villarreal. We've had the 5 minutes. And the full-time whistle has gone at the Emirates Stadium. Arsenal are out of the Europa League at the semi-final stage. Villarreal, managed by Unai Emery, the former Arsenal boss, have booked their place in a European final. Unai Emery does it again. Unai Emery takes a side to a major European final, and this time at the expense of his former club, Arsenal. Really, really disappointing night, and you can't make excuses anymore. It's you know, we got it horribly wrong in the first leg. I think we probably got it wrong again tonight. Based on the way we tried to play, there were clear problems, clear issues that were never addressed. Yes, we were unlucky in some senses when we had two efforts from Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang come crashing off of the woodwork. But this is perhaps the final straw for Mikel Arteta. I don't see how he survives this and the 9th place finish in the Premier League. You know, Villarreal, you can see what it means to them. They're absolutely delighted, and rightly so. They're a really unfancied side in this competition. And Villarreal have managed to get themselves all the way through to a European final. Unai Emery's done it again. It's a competition that has been named and dubbed as his competition. It'd be a little bit easier to swallow, I guess, if Arsenal were competing in the Premier League, but the reality is we haven't, and there need to be serious questions asked now of Mikel Arteta. There need to be serious questions asked of many of these players who once again have failed to turn up and perform when it really, really mattered. It's a painful night, it's a shit night, it's a horrible night. I'm going to be back at around about 10:30 with a reaction podcast. If you're interested, I'm going to be on BBC Radio 5 Live in around about 10 minutes time, talking with Lee Dixon and Matthew Upson about what's just occurred this evening. So if you fancy heading over to catch that, come over. But as I say, full reaction at 10:30 with myself and Metro Sports' Mike Stavrou. It's been a bad night. It's been great watching it with you guys. It's the only positive, but it's been a really bad night. And as I say, serious questions need to be asked of Mikel Arteta and this Arsenal side now. An embarrassing exit at the hands of Villarreal. I'll be back very, very soon with a post-match reaction podcast. Thank you all for tuning in. Really appreciate the support, even if the result wasn't what we wanted and the performance wasn't what we wanted. But as I say, I'll chat to you all in a little bit. And until then, take care.